Come on, you prick. Work for me, baby. Work for me. Oh, shit. Something's happening, bruh. Something is happening.
Something good or something not good?
Nah, we're on. We are on, baby. We are on. Now
Oh, God.
I can fuck that off to the side there. That looks good. All right. Let's get this bad boy cracker lacking, man.
Sounds good.
Hello, handsome. Care for a rub down?
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Something special is about to happen.
Are you waiting to receive my limp penis?
Very aroused.
Better than later. Let's do this.
That is incredible! That is unbelievable! That is brilliant!
Yeah, g'day, rubbers. Welcome back to the weekly Rub Down, a podcast that rubs down everything NRL Supercoach. You're listening to the Round 3 Rub Down. I'm your host, Natty, and with me is the new owner of Greg Marsdew and a bloke that's got a fucking grin on his face from ear to fucking ear because he's got an early Eskimo Bro scalp for the 2024 season. It's Walker. What's going on, mate?
Not much. Just
Get it out of your system. Come on.
Just
Come
loving
on.
life, you know. It wasn't looking too flash. And then Marjorie scored, and I was like, oh, we could be on here. This is not good. And then got the HIA early. Wasn't looking flash for me either. I decided to roll with it, and holy fuck, that try assist came in very handy at the back end of the game, and I took you down in the overall as well.
Probably would have beat me anyway, but
Yes,
just like a fucking cat on a hot tin roof, I've landed straight on my feet with Greg
big time.
Marsdew injured for the next 6 weeks. So RTS comes into the Eskimo Bros at a very timely manner.
it was it was an extremely soft landing for you. I could have gone, oh no, I'll give you Carraz or bloody Kelly, but no. RTS looks good, man.
And I mean, I did do the nice guy thing too. I said, like, Marzew's out. Do you want to swap back? He said, no, I can carry him. So you'll only get that offer once. That offer's off the table now. Marzew is yours. RTS is mine.
That's
we'll
fine.
See how this pans out.
I'm not aiming to get all the wins in March. I've got the only scalp I wanted in March, so that's fine.
Let's twist the top off a couple. I've got
you got a longie. Wow. Oh, baby.
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah,
That's very good.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is tasty. All right, so this rub down obviously brought to you by our Patreon, the Rub Club. If you're not a subscriber to the Rub Club, what are you doing? If you're listening to this podcast, you're obviously a draft fan. You're obviously a classic fan. You're a super coach fan. Get on the Rub Club. Join up. Tier 2, $8 a month. You'll get so much for it. I won't go through all the stat sheets. It'll bore the fuck out of you, but I'm telling you, week in, week out, we are pumping you full of so many stats. It is coming out of your eyeballs. And if you can't put together a winning season with the stats we're throwing at you, there's something wrong. You're doing something awfully wrong. So get on there, have a look. If you want to support the weekly rub down, that's the best way to do it. Get on there, support the rub, and get plenty back for your money as well. Anything that you want to add for the Rub Club, anything new that you've added or an update with it or anything like that?
No, we'll be cycling in all of the stats from this season, starting from next week. So exciting times. We've got we'll have 3 rounds under our belt, so won't be running off 2023 stats. So it's very exciting times. So we usually start to introduce things like the form guide, and so that's a 6-round average, a rolling 6-round average, coming in round 7. So there's other stat sheets that'll come in, dip in and dip out. There's also, we mentioned it last time, the Discord as well. It's been going off like a frog in a sock. Heaps of good chat. Rubbers helping rubbers. I'm jumping in, throwing a few my 2 cents in every now and again. But yeah, really good chat, and a few of the boys on there like Maxi and Hudzo are going hard. which is awesome.
Yes. I'm a big fan of the Discord. Everyone on there rubbing each other's backs. There's back rubs, there's cock rubs, there's foot rubs. There's a lot of rubs going on there. Everyone helping everyone to just get ahead in their draft season, which is really good. I love that. It's something that we were big on. It's something we wanted to create early on in the rub down piece. And yeah, we're doing it, bro. It's there. We've got heaps of channels on the Discord, injuries, game matchups, trades, free agent pickups, you name it. There's channels on there. Get on there, have a look. But of course, you have to be a tier 2 subscriber to get on the Discord. So yeah, good stuff, bro. Really good stuff.
And there's also so you don't need to log into Twitter or anything like that. We're automatically just throwing the Twitter updates from guys like Stylesy and everyone else who has some really good input, or like Brian as well, NRL Physio. They come straight in through the Discord, so you don't even need to have the Twitter account.
You don't
no one's got it.
Have to knock.
Exactly. It all comes there straight into your eyeballs.
I love that. I love that, bro. Now, before we move on, is there any more gloating you want to do after getting a win over me and Greg Marshall? Because you know how much I love Greg Marshall. Greg Marshall is my boy.
Death, taxes, and Walker getting one over Natty. Look, it was very, very good times over the weekend. Stressful, but fuck, it was enjoyable. I think we'll definitely have to. I'll give you the opportunity to get him back next round that we verse each other. I think it's in 10, 12 rounds. So it's going to happen. It's going to be awesome.
Love it, bro. And so in the listener league, we actually got a win. So we are undefeated to start the season, and we had Holmes up against Manu, which wasn't looking great when Holmes only scored 50 something, and then Manu came out and shit the bed. So we actually won Manu. So running with Holmes and Manu on our CTWs at the moment is very delectable.
Pretty handy. Yeah, I'll take that.
Bets. How good. All right, that's enough out of us. Let's just fucking get into this. Let's get into some injury news because there's
still alive,
plenty
but I'm
of
very
that.
badly injured.
Now, what do we got here? Greg Marshall, rest 4 to 6 weeks as he requires surgery, bro.
Yeah. Anari Tuala comes in. He's played both sides, so you'd expect him to come in on the left. I've only ever actually seen Jenkins play right in NRL. So, look, I'd expect him to stay on the right side and then Tuala, who's played a little bit on the left, to come in.
Yep. Yeah, I don't mind that. Good call. Helam Lukey, in his most injury, he needs surgery. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah,
Finafawaka is definitely he's a ready-made replacement. So, look, if he's available on freeze or waivers, go grab him because he's going to be a good handcuff if you've got Lukey, or he's going to be a decent scoring back rower in the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Yep. We'll be talking a little bit about him when we come to the Cowboys game, waivers, stuff like that, because his name is very arousing for your round 3 waivers. Next up, Stafford Toa ankle injury, 6 to 8 weeks as well.
Yeah, Justin Olam returns, so it's a ready-made replacement again.
Yep. Yeah, that's an easy one there. Then we have Adam Reynolds aggravating that MCL injury again. This could be a real worry for and ongoing throughout the season. We know what he's like with those soft tissue injuries, bro.
Yeah, and look, these ones, it would just be managed over the next few weeks. So, look, they come up against the Panthers. It's going to be a tough proposition either way. Jock Mudden comes in. So, look, they've gone well in that spine before. The problem is that they're coming up against the most quality opposition in the league. So, tough one.
Yeah, fuck. We've got Adam Reynolds in the Rubbers League, so
that's going to be tough.
Out what to do there. We've got Tommy Talau ankle injury. Initially, it was 6 to 8 weeks, but I did read on Brian's Insta earlier today that it may not be as bad as first thought, but he's obviously out this week.
Yeah, okay. Ray Vega, he comes in. He's been named to start on that left edge.
Ray Vega. JFH shoulder injury. Cleared of serious injury, but obviously not taking part in the Panthers game this weekend.
Yeah. And look, Lindsay Smith comes into the starting side. So he's like, depending on how long is JFH out? Do we
Not
know?
sure at this moment.
Yeah.
They're saying not that long, but 1 to 2 weeks probably, but it's unconfirmed.
Yep, fair play.
Yeah, Lindsay Smith, likely type. I
Half
talked a lot
decent,
about
half
him.
decent option.
Yep, I talked a lot about him in the preseason, was really big on him. I think he was my sleeper in the front row forward position. So, yeah, it'd be good to see him go around with some minutes this weekend. Just an update on Jai Arrow with his shoulder. Obviously, he's not going to go down the road of that reconstructive surgery, which will end his season. But listening to Brian on the Magic Sponge podcast, he said, doesn't matter, classic draft, he would be staying the fuck away from Jai Arrow just with that return to performance. So I just thought I would add that in here.
Yeah, you'll get more of the same from him this season that you did last season, and that's just disappointment.
Yep. Fox remains sidelined, so not much there. CNK still 2 to 3 weeks away with that hamstring back. So Tuapiki gets a stay there in the fullback spot.
Tuapiki, like, fantastic start to the season from a classic perspective. If you're a CNK owner, he's a great handcuff. But in classic, he's going to make some decent cash early on, which is awesome.
Yep, I started with him. Look at me go! Look at me go! Cam Munster's still out with that groin. Jesus, if you drafted Cam Munster in the first round or something like that, you are not liking life at the moment.
Yeah, and I know of a few people in some leagues who have gone Munster early. Just harken back to the good old days when he was averaging 75 to 80. But irrespective, I just don't think that he is that type of player anymore.
No. Yeah, that's tough luck for the Cam Munster owners, and it's an indefinite injury. No one knows what he's going to come back.
Shower, honestly.
And Jonah Pezzett, like I picked him up and tried to plug him last week. I don't know. He's not really a great option.
He almost scored a try in the first fucking 5 minutes. I thought I was in Barney rubble, but it turned out that wasn't that. He ran by on someone. So anyway.
Now Fafita and Jaden Campbell still out for the Titans. Now we did talk about this last week. It probably is going to be more of between round 4 and 6. It's starting to look like more close to that round 6 return for both of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, there was some guys in the Discord chat that did mention that they were watching full contact sessions with the Titans training, and Fafita was up and about and taking part. So, look, I would be surprised if we don't see him sooner rather than later. So, I was hoping today, being an
two
owner.
Players that both of us are watching very closely. Obviously, you have David Fafita. I have Jaden Campbell in my 5'8" spot. Need these boys back. Come on. But in saying that, don't rush them back because I do need Jaden Campbell for the rest of the season. So.
Yeah. Not too early.
Not too early, but early enough. Now, head knocks, we had a few. We had Seb Chris, Luke Keary, Christian Welch, Jacob Little, Bailey Simonson, all having a rest this weekend because of head knocks.
Yeah, and look, don't be surprised with the concussion history of Keary if he's out for multiple weeks. Look, it's going to be the 11-day stand down irrespective, but Roosters do err on the side of caution just with previous experience.
Sandon Smith, not a bad little pickup there, and a handcuff for Keary as well. Ones to watch this weekend. Payne Haas, obviously, with that knee injury. He's named to play, but he has been under an injury cloud all week. Kelma Tulagi as well. Wade Egan, he's named to play with that elbow injury. Just a few guys you want to keep a close eye on just because of those injuries. Suspensions. We had Britton Nickera, 2 matches for that high shot. I think he got away scot-free in that one with 2 matches. That was a pretty fucking terrible.
That was a horrible tackle.
It was. Jerome Hughes, 1 match for his push on the ref, and Francis Molo, 1 match there as well.
Yeah, I don't know. The Jerome Hughes one was a bit of a storm in the teacup, if I'm honest.
It's just one of those things where it's like,
he's in the way. Yeah. He's in the way, so yeah.
So yeah, blokes returning. Elliot Whitehead comes in, and now I sort of talked about in the Freeze and Frothies. I was like, I think it's time to go get Zach Hosking and be serious about Zach Hosking because there's no way that they can leave him out of this Raiders side with the way that he's playing.
You forgot Sticky was the coach.
So
Sticky loves
fucked everyone's plans there. Jack Whiten comes back for the Bunnies. Justin Olam, obviously, you mentioned that before. Walker and Kieran Foran for the Titans.
Yeah, so look, I think there's going to be some interesting games to watch and how they roll out. Like Elliot Whitehead, how many minutes does he play? And does Hosking get enough game time to make him Supercoach relevant? Jackie Whiten, how does he fit into that left edge? Do they maintain momentum? They haven't been attacking that well to the edges, so it's going to be interesting to see how they go, because they were a bit flat, especially the attack through the edges against the Broncos. They got a lot of success through the middle, so I'm interested to see whether Jackie Whiten can just spark something and really turn it on. Obviously, they've got Dean Hawkins coming in as well, replacing Ilias.
Ilias gets the boot there. Yeah, plenty to talk about in that Roosters Bunnies game.
For sure.
It's a lot of good talking points there with a lot of player movements, a lot of ins, a lot of outs, a lot of what have yous. But let's get into rubbing down these games, bro. Cannot wait.
Stats, records, rankings, weather.
I know the team.
These games are a burial, a blowout, a human lock.
I know these players.
All you gotta do is bet on the win.
I know this wonderful game called football.
Let's get on with the rub down.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, indeed. So these games and the matchups we're going to talk about with the stats, we're getting a lot of the stats from 2023 and piecing them together and comparing with some of the stats that we've collated so far in the year. But as always, these stats won't start gaining momentum and really making a difference probably for another 2 rounds. Usually round 4, round 5 rub down is when we start getting a really good holistic picture about how teams are attacking and where they're conceding points. But at the moment, I'm sort of looking at more individual matchups where line breaks are being conceded, how teams are sort of their main attacking guys that are missing tackles, sort of those one-on-one matches, which is it's an interesting talking point when you're looking at Supercoach as well, trying to pick those really big statistical matchups.
Yeah, and look, for me, I'm going in the same sort of vein. Looking at new combinations, defensive combinations, and things like that, because it always takes a little bit of time to get those defensive systems to work with new partners and things like that. So the trust sometimes isn't there. They might rush in and create gaps. So
it's like us when we're using new technology and trying to work out new software. Very clunky, can be clunky for quite some time as well. We get it. All right, let's get into the first game, Thursday, 8 p.m., Panthers v Broncos, Bluebet Stadium. This is a grand final rematch. This is going to be an absolute cracker, as in just crack some tins and just watch this game, not worry too much about Supercoach, because I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you where the strengths and weaknesses lie. I can tell you where the strengths are. I just can't tell you where the weaknesses are. Panthers still a right dominant attacking team. They are peppering that right edge. To'o owners, you're not going to like to hear that now that he switched to the left. And we saw that on the weekend. He died of cold out there. He wasn't getting any ball. And all of a sudden, Taruva becomes very, very interesting in this Panthers side. And then on the other side of the ball, I mean, Broncos have been a right dominant side, but fuck, this left attack is looking good. Selwyn Cobbo out there could be in the line for center Delium of the year. He is playing that good. Better than I ever thought he would play, and it's so early on. Arthurs is looking really good out there on the left.
Piakura had good moments as well.
Piakura as well.
He's underrated, man. Yeah.
So it really is the right attack versus the left attack in this game. But for me, I'm not getting too carried away with starting. Well, you got your starting blokes, but I'm not getting carried away with VC options. That's for sure.
Yeah, look, I think there's only a handful of guys that you'd have that you would be rotating in matchups. So guys like Dan Mariner, maybe Stags, and a few others of that ilk. Other guys like Walshy and Edwards and Ty, you're going to be starting them against pretty much any opposition. So I don't see that being too much of a change here. But this one's going to be a frigging good defensive-led matchup. And interested to see how the forward battle goes, because obviously Broncos have Haas being named, which is a big shot in the arm, and with JFH out, are they going to get the wood on them in the middle? And that's where Broncos can really get on top.
Yeah, this is just going to be a good one to watch. Obviously, I guess if I was keen on any player from my team, and obviously because we own certain players, we're looking at them more closely, so we tend to talk about them more. But Paddy Carrigan for the Broncos, if Haas is limited in minutes because of that knee injury, could have a big game. I mean, the motherfucker is on another level at the moment. Carrigan.
He's a weapon.
I'm throbbing hard over Carrigan. You know that I wanted him so much last year, right?
Yeah.
Got him this year. I'm so happy about it because when I watch the Broncos, I'm just eyes on him all the time. Things that he does off the ball, things that he does on the ball, his little tip-on passes, and then the tough stuff he gets through. I honestly think he could get 70, 75 in this game just in pure base. I think he'd be right up for this one against the Panthers. And that's usually how you try and beat the Panthers as well. You want to bash them through the middle.
Bash them through the middle, get some second phase play. 100%. Keep them on their toes.
Yep. And once you do that, then it creates space for those fast men out the back. But yeah, I'll be big on Paddy Carrigan. I'll be looking hard at VCing him in my team just to see if I can get a solid 70 points and just have that in my back pocket. But I do love the matchup here. Just because I don't have a lot of VC options early on in the round, but I'm big on Paddy Carrigan and his matchup, especially if Payne Haas gets his minutes culled.
Yeah, no, for sure, because they like to maintain a bit of momentum, and look, I think they will try to keep at least one of the guys on the field at any one time. So I love that play.
Yep. Waiver wire pickups. This is for everyone that's watching on YouTube, all two of you probably. So the one that I like is Taruva. If they continue to have him on the right wing, you need to fire him up. You need to get him in your side. The right wing for the Panthers, it's prime real estate. We saw it on the weekend. I mean, how many tries has Taruva scored over the last, say, 20 games? And then bang, gets a double straight away as soon as they put him out there on the right. Tago is unstoppable at the moment.
Even Yo was feeding him.
Yeah, kicking the ball over him for unbelievable, bro. So Taruva, a huge pickup for me. Another one, Jock Madden. Handcuff option for Reynolds. Yeah,
we might have to look at that in our league for the listener league. So looking through matchups, like you mentioned it with Bizza has a statistical matchup, but they just don't go there. So statistically, Broncos have been conceding last season fourth most in the league to left wingers, but if the ball doesn't get there, it doesn't matter. So yeah, Sinai Taruva is probably the only back that I've been looking at out of anyone on the field, and maybe Selwyn Cobbo. But yeah, it's a tough one. An interesting matchup between May and Staggs as well. So sometimes he will turn it on against decent opposition. So I'm looking at that battle. May's been unbelievable.
A 67 and then a 53 in games where he doesn't have a try assist, he doesn't have a try, he doesn't have a try contribution.
Yeah. But he'll have about 1,000 tackle breaks.
Name me centers that do that. Like, that's wild. Yeah. If they can get him ball close to the line, he can start scoring some tries. I mean, wow. It's going to be big. Some more waiver wire pickups, mate. Dean Mariner, I mean, he has to do a lot to get points.
But he can. That's the thing. Like you mentioned, they're normally a right attacking side, but look, I just see a lot more ball being funneled down that left side, so he might not get as many opportunities as we possibly thought preseason.
Yep. Yeah. We talked about Lindsay Smith, plugging him in there while JFH is out. Mitch Kenny made 52 tackles last week.
Played 80, I think, as well.
Played 80 minutes. So any hooker that's playing 80 minutes for any side, get him in because hooker's disgusting. It's shallow as fuck. So I don't mind him as well. It's probably it. And you're picking up these guys really for future games because this game's going to be fucked. Honestly, VC captaincy options, nothing for me, bro.
Yeah, look, I think if you own Reece Walsh or Nathan Cleary, you're going to VC those guys because they're your best scorers. But yeah, I wouldn't be expecting the world from them.
Yep, don't expect a lot. All right, let's get in the next game. Friday, 6 p.m. Warriors v Raiders, Apollo Projects Stadium. This is in Christchurch, so across the Dutch. Now, strengths and weaknesses in this game. Warriors obviously still trying to be that right dominant attacking team that they were last year. The issue is without CNK's ball playing, it's definitely not as potent. They need CNK for this to work, right? Now, don't get me wrong. They're still going to try it. They're still going to sling the ball down there. It's just not going to be as slick. And the fact that RTS is playing on the left, they have been a more balanced attacking team. Well, more than they were last year anyway. So, we could count the Warriors with their right attack. You'd be like, look, they're going to score 4 tries and all 4 of them are going to be on the right. That's the type of team they were last year. Not so much this season, especially with Luke Metcalf coming on and playing really well, and obviously the throbber that is RTS out there, new Eskimo bro in the red and black, looking strong. Probably go on to average 100 now that he's in my side. He's already told me, he came to my office, he said, mate, I can't believe you got me out of there. I was hating it at the notarizers. And don't worry, he goes, boss, coach, don't worry, bruz, I'll average more than Marzu. I went, okay, that's what I want to hear, bro. Fair. Get back out there in the paddock and start training.
I hear it.
For the Raiders, I mean, the vanilla side, they should be in all white, the Raiders. But if I'm sort of dialing into anything that they're doing this year, it seems to be their left edge. Xavier Savage has scored 2 tries in 2 games.
Yep.
And hello, DWZ has conceded 2 tries in 2 games.
Ooh,
so
hello.
I like that synergy there with the left for the Raiders having a good matchup. But other than that, really hard game to read. And I hate, honestly, I hate trying to predict anything that the Raiders are going to do. Because I'll say right now that the left edge is going to fire up and they'll score their tries down their right. I've got no idea. So tough. What's your top matchups that the stats are saying here, bro?
Yeah, look, I don't mind a sneaky play for Tuapiki. I'm going to fire him up in Classic, and look, if you've got him in draft, you're probably playing him as a fullback anyway to cover.
He's got a tackle break in him, hasn't he?
He does. He's hard to handle. He's got good running game, but he doesn't. You alluded to it before. He doesn't have that much creativity, so not going to really get too many try assists and all that sort of stuff. But he will be providing backup and things like that. So Jackson Ford and RTS, the other 2 that I think will have very good matchups. It would have been Zach Hosking as well, but playing from the bench, it's not something that you can rely on.
No.
And Elliot Whitehead's not obviously going to offer the same attacking upside.
No, exactly. Yeah, just a shit old game to sort of try and predict here.
Yeah.
If we try and look at waiver wire pickups for those watching on YouTube, Tuapiki, again, like I said earlier, still about 3 weeks for CNK to come back into this side. So he's going to do a job there at fullback for you as long as CNK's out. Jackson Ford, we said this guy last week. Not sure what's going on with Murata Niokore, but Jackson Ford on that right edge is very sexy. So you can put him in there. He scored a try on the weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Was it a try or a try assist last week?
I think it's try assist, yeah.
Yep. Yum. We love that. Ethan Strange, Xavier Savage. I think these guys, what's your thought on wavering for these guys? Now, Ethan Strange, obviously available at 5'8". 5'8's disgusting. Xavier Savage has been scoring
Xavier
tries,
Savage, for sure. He does. He needs to do a lot he needs to score a try to be relevant. Yeah. But look, they've been attacking that edge a fair bit. So look, I'd be happy going for Xavier Savage. Outside of that, I'd be hard pressed to go for Ethan Strange. Like that last game's, you couldn't rely on that. They were playing the Tigers, and the Tigers are shit.
Yeah, and again, he had a lot of attacking stats and scored 61.
Yeah.
So, can you do me a favor and jot down some of these waiver wire guys that we're talking about just as we go through, and then I'll throw you at the end, just for everyone to give us a little. We'll give everyone a little bit of a tidy up at the end, a happy ending. So I guess in the first match, the big ones there would be Taruva. He'd be the main pickup there with Jock Madden as a handcuff. And then in this second game here, Tuapiki and Xavier Savage are the guys that we're looking at for waivers. For VCs here, I mean, RTS maybe. I do like the matchup, honestly. RTS up against Tomoko.
Timoko's had some real bad reads as well.
Yeah,
not just missed tackles.
So RTS could make him look bad. So that's not a bad play there. Sean Johnson maybe on the other side of the ball. I mean, really, can you ever VC anyone from the Raiders or captain anyone from the Raiders at the moment?
Well, I think if Zach Hosking was fucking starting, maybe. But Look, we even saw a real dog shit score from Tapane last week. So look, no one's safe.
AFB making me look good after that round 1, round 2. All of a sudden, maybe I do know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We'll
Well,
see.
that's the thing. Like it was always going to be a flash in the pan, I think.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I just can't believe he come out
round one.
Like the first time he touched the ball, he scored a try. Fucking unbelievable.
Genuinely though.
All right, let's get into the next game. Friday, 8 p.m. Roosters versus the Bunnies. Allianz Stadium.
It's a big one.
NRL is turning it on this weekend, baby. This is good, and this is a really good game to analyze. Right, I've gone back and forth. This is the game, one of the games that I'm punting on the Chase Losses podcast. So I've done a lot of deep diving into try scorers here. First up, the statistical matchup lies with the Roosters right. We know the Roosters are a right dominant side, and that the Bunnies have been weak on their left edge for a couple of seasons now. Also, no Keary in this side. The right edge should see more ball. You've got Whiten out there defending next to AJ. That's a new defensive combination. AJ looked old last. I know you don't like me telling players are old, but fuck, he looked old up against Mariner. It's like, bro,
he looked so
walking
slow.
frame out. Good, get the walking frame out, bro. He could not deal with it.
Yeah.
And so now you got to deal with Dom Young, and we saw the wheels that Dom Young has, the big fella. Geez, he can motor. So
and he's big as well.
Huge.
Yeah.
So the statistical matchups there, right? But of course, I don't like to stop there. I like to dive deeper. Let's get deep, baby. Let's put the pressure on the back and just drive it home, right?
Yeah.
I really love the Roosters' left attack here. And the reason I love the Roosters' left attack is because I hate the right edge players for the Bunnies. And I'm talking about Tass and Mill. You couldn't get two worse defending backs next to each other. But the Bunnies have done it. Yeah. They have combined for 7 line breaks conceded in 2 rounds. These two.
That's hectic. Yeah.
Disgusting. So I will be putting some hard-earned money on Toops. And the other thing, it's like you've got Sandon Smith coming into this team, and these young guys with not a lot of experience, they all need a security blanket. What better security blanket than a veteran winger who's 9 foot tall, that you can float the ball over, you can put the grubber in behind, you can kick it up as high as a skyscraper. The cunt's going to go up and get it. I think Sandon Smith is going to use Toops. I think he's good for 1. And if you want to get a little bit crazy, 2 or more for Toops. Big on Toops.
2 or more.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. I mean, looking at the top matchups, you hit the nail on the head. I had Toops as having a good one lining up against Milne. That one was a tasty one. Manu always turns up for these games as well. And my only concern would be Whiten. He's shown he can play centre at a high clip, obviously centre at origin level. So that would be my concern. The only thing is lining up next to Cody Walker, I think there's probably going to be some defensive frailties there. So, look, I do think that Manu's going to have a big one as well.
Yeah, and like you sort of started talking about when we brought Jack Whiten's name up, it's going to be very big watch here to see how the Rabbitohs left edge works.
Yeah.
Are they going to bring Jack Whiten in and play short? Because we know that they're an out-the-back type team when they get that sweep on, when Latrell comes through. Cody Walker loves a cutout ball as well. Are they going to use Jack Whiten, or are they going to use him to improve that sweep and that cutout ball? Because it could work both ways, right? Jack Whiten is going to suck in defenders either way. So I'm really interested to see what's going to happen here, because one way, Alex Johnson's going to get hurt. The other way, Alex Johnson's going to score more tries.
Yeah, it's a flip of the coin of how that goes. And look, moving Keon Kolomatangi to the left side as well, like we haven't seen how that side will work in a decent attacking foray. They tried a number of times. Yeah, they tried a number of times, and it wasn't working for them. So they ended up going through the middle. They actually cut the Broncos apart through the middle, which was frustrating to see. But look, the edge defense. Look, the Roosters have fucking awesome edge defense. As much as I hate to give the Roosters compliments, one of the better edge defensive teams in the league. Got really good systems in place, and the players that they've got on those edge positions are good defenders and make good decisions. So I just don't think this is a game where we'll see a really good attacking output from that left side. And I do think the Bunnies get rolled in this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Personally.
Yep, I totally agree. They've looked clunky. Roosters have looked strong. I mean, yes, I know Kiri's out, but this Sandon Smith does have something about him. I think he'll be fine.
Yep.
If we're talking about some waiver wire pickups, I know Nat Butcher is probably
he's been dropped
50 to 60%, but look,
he's been dropped in some
I will
leagues.
say this: I got so many DMs about, do I drop Nat Butcher? What do I do with Nat Butcher? And I told everyone, it's so early in the season, and this whole back row situation for the Roosters is a fucking shit show. Hold on to him. So you're welcome, because it looks like he's back to his 80-minute role if you look at that team list. So
they've got one of the 4 of the better back rowers in all of the NRL, trying to fit him in 2 positions. It's not gonna work well. And
if
we've
Nat
seen
Butcher's out in your waivers, he's number 1. Go get him.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's not going to be on too many, but I have seen a few where he has slipped in there.
What about these guys? So there's a few new names coming in here. Obviously, Dean Hawkins for the Bunnies. You got Connor Watson now on the bench for the Roosters. That may be short term. Sandon Smith as well, maybe short term, but maybe a good handcuff option if you do have Kiri. Gus Crichton there. Any of these guys worth a waiver or just free agents?
Like Gussie Crichton's an interesting one. If he recaptures any of his form from, say, 2022 or earlier, look, he could be an untapped resource. Dean Hawkins, no interest whatsoever. Could be good in actual NRL and all that sort of stuff. But we've seen, look, they've only just improved that left edge by adding 2 really quality players there in White and Kolomatangi. He doesn't have any attacking weapons on that right side, and that's like, what is he going to attack through fucking Host and Tass? No. So I'm not a big fan of Hawkins as a buy. I could be proven wrong, but he has been tearing it up in resis for a couple of seasons now. But yes, there's a reason why Ilias was barely Supercoach, not Supercoach relevant.
Yeah, I'm not sure if any of them are waiver wire pickups. I think Sandon Smith, if you do own Kiri, I think he's not a bad handcuff, but I wouldn't be wavering for him and just be. I think
all of them set an alarm for 4 a.m. tomorrow and jump on and see if they're there.
Yep, I agree. VCs here, being the Friday 8 p.m. game, it's VC heaven. Obviously, you've got the big dicks. You've got Latrell, Manu, Teddy, Toops has to be in there, big on Toops. Anyone else?
Yeah. I mean, Cookie through the middle, possibly. Cody Walker, if you've got him, possibly. Hasn't fired in a few seasons against the Roosters, though, so probably not that much. Outside of that, maybe Semi Walker could be a sneaky play for a VC as well.
I'll tell you what, Latrell will be up for this one. Latrell loves playing these big games against the Roosters. So.
Especially against the Roosters. So,
Yep. Great VC option there with Latrell. Teddy's been fantastic. We've nailed that sleeper call. He's been back to his best. Should be a really good game. Can't wait. This is actually going to be the game that we're going to do our little head-to-head with on Insta. So we'll talk about that in the happy ending. But, good game to do it with. Fucking real good game.
Yeah, this one's just going to be quality.
Yep. All across the park. Next game, we'll go with Saturday, 3 p.m., Bulldogs v Titans, Belmore Sports Oval. So, look, strengths and weaknesses in this one. Hard to get a read on the Titans after just one game, but we have to.
An awful game.
Exactly. But we have to. I think we just have to look at that left edge. It's still, even without David Feder, it is still their most potent attacking edge, especially with Kieran Foran back in the side. And when you look at the weaknesses for the Dogs, who've just been leaking tries everywhere, but they have been pretty bad in both outings on their right edge defense, leaking 5 tries to 2 left attacks. So I do expect this Titans left attack to fire up. Brian Kelly, AKP, I think Kinney has a very good game as well here. Bulldogs have improved. They looked a little bit better in round 2. I think they will find success in some parts of the game.
Yeah.
Their right edge obviously is pretty decent, but in attack, but in defense, their right edge is so bad. Jacob Carraz, I think he missed like 8 tackles last week.
Yeah, I mean,
And Blake
I
Wilson
wouldn't
has
be
conceded like 3 or 4 line breaks, so not a great defensive edge.
It wouldn't shock me if they do look to switch around the centers just to try to stem the tide a little bit. I think they've got bigger fish to fry at the moment. But yeah, I think there's there was like some decent signs of the old Dogs of War in probably 10 to 20 minute spurts. But outside of that, it was pretty tough to watch.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a close game. I think this is going to be a bit of an arm wrestle. It might be one of those games where it's like, oh, fuck, there's been like 12 drop balls, so many missed tackles. It's an absolute shit show. But it could be like, 12-8 for most of the game.
Titans v Tigers a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So for Supercoach, not great, I guess. Just because we haven't seen
huge potential. Potential because like there's a whole bunch of defensive matchups across the park on both sides, and look, it's super tasty. Looking at the stat sheet, it's super tasty. But both of the teams have very big changes that have been brought in, personnel on the Dog side, and then obviously new coach, new defensive structures, and all that sort of stuff in the Titans. So. Yeah, it's a tough one to get a read on, and only having the one game for the Titans, which was a shit show. It's a tough one.
Big game for the middles, Titans. So Big Mofo, Tino, Bulldogs. They're running with some small forwards, and at parts on the weekend they had like Kurt Mann, Josh Curran, and Jamin Salmon out there in the middle. It's like if you've got that pack and you're trying to fucking deal with Tino and Big Mofo and these cunts, like, come on, man.
And look, and they lost Farmasili last week, so Liam Knight comes in, and I've watched a couple of the Resi games, and he has done so many errors. The biggest error is his haircut. Outside of that, he's just been dropping balls.
Mate, you can't be talking about people's haircuts with that fucking thing on your head.
Oh, what? don't say anything.
Your hairline's petrified of your eyebrows. That's what's happening.
It's been petrified since I was 17.
Yes, I just came up with that on the spot too. It's nice.
Oh, well done, mate. Well done.
Yeah.
You don't usually think on your toes.
Oh yeah. No, look, disgusting game. Waiver wire pick up some interesting ones when I was looking at like low ownership. Camp Pereira is like 20% owned.
Yeah.
Philip Sammy, low ownership as well. Just with that right edge defense of the Dogs, you would think AKP is in for some meat here, right?
Yeah. Look, Blake Wilson in attack has been like singing, but hasn't been doing the same in defense. One thing I will say about AKP, he can drop a shit score. Got like a 21, I think it was, with a try.
Yeah, if you want 100 points out of him, he needs 5 tries.
Yeah,
and maybe an assist.
Exactly. It's it's a bit wild. Phil Sammy though, look, I picked him up in one of the other leagues. Ridiculous. Like, yeah, he dropped a 45 or something, but that is literally all in base power. So
what's your thought on Josh Curran? So it must be noted that
Guru's been beating the house down trying to get that front row forward in round 6.
Though, because he does play. He does come on.
He's been playing prop. So yeah.
But he got a 76 on the weekend, but he did have 2 line break assists with that.
But even still, he's in the 50s.
Yep, take that away. It's 59. I think you got 60 minutes, so it's 59 points in 60 minutes. Still good. Still decent.
Good PPM. Great PPM.
Yeah,
And when you look at the lack of forwards that they got, he's going to get big minutes again.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
would think so. You would think so, bro. So he's not a bad pickup. He's probably the best under 35%, I would say.
Do you think, and the whole point of going current is, look, how long are they going to persist with Jamin Salmon at lock?
Yeah. If he wants to play lock, he needs to start working on his ball playing because they've obviously gone with Salmon because they want a ball playing
they've gone with Salmon because they have to because they've got Drew Hutchinson at halfback. They need some level of creativity. Jesus.
Yeah.
And Taff at fullback. Like, Burton can't do everything.
True. Yeah, look, Curran's probably the man there that you want to pick up.
Yeah, for sure.
As far as VC, well, what are we? We're Saturday, 3 p.m. So VCs are still in play.
VC's still on there.
Tino's a decent go there. And then after that, it just falls off the side of the cliff. Yeah,
look, the guys that you'd be looking at, like Keeney, Kelly, and all those ones, like they're not going to get you the high clip scores that you want for a VC. So, yeah, well, I wouldn't really be looking at maybe a Matty Burton at a pinch, but he hasn't really set the world alight in the first few rounds.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it moving here. Let's get in the next game. We've got Saturday, 5:30 p.m. Dragons v Cowboys, Net Strata Jubilee Stadium. Look, I said this a few times over the weekend. Dragons, well, they're still the Dragons. So we all got a little bit excited there for a minute, and then we all realized, okay, the Dragons are still the Dragons.
I still didn't think they were going to get beat to 0 against the Dolphins.
But they still present great value Supercoach-wise because whoever's playing them are up for big games. So, yeah, it's still good to analyze these Dragons games. If we look at the strengths and weaknesses, both sides supremely strong on their right edge, right? So Cowboys were strong last year. They're still strong on their right. Dragons, same thing, strong on their right last year, and they continue to be strong on their right this year. The only difference between these two, one's humming, one team's woeful. So I don't need to tell you which ones they are. I expect both to find success on their right edges, though. Even though I think the Cowboys will win and win handedly, I still think the Dragons can find some success out there on their right edge. I think Hunt, Bird, Lomax, they do damage, and they are all very good Supercoach players. I mean, Lomax had like 18 runs in the first half. The dude's possessed.
Yeah, he's literally been. He's taken it to heart. What's been told, what he's been told in the off season. So, look, he's come out there with a point to prove. I think he is proving the point, and he's looking the goods. He just needs a few of the teammates to go with him. Look, they were pretty woeful last week against the Finns, and they'll be out there at home trying to right some wrongs.
Yeah, look.
What do you think? What do you think about narratives? Luciano Leilua, second game back, playing against his old club.
I'm interested to see what sort of minutes he gets. I'm not sure that he gets 80.
With Taylor Mariner on the bench and just how they've got that team structure, I can't see. He rarely played 80 when he was at the Cows.
Yeah, and look, even when he was at the Cowboys, he was pretty shit. Like, he wasn't getting 80 minutes there. He wasn't a real viable Supercoach option. I don't think he's going to be here at the Dragons. I think he just missed me with him.
Fair.
I think it's all pretty much on the Cowboys side. I mean, you're starting the guns. Tyrell Sloan's very interesting. He's very interesting. I've never been a big fan, but I did see him in that game, and there's a lot about him. He's got a fair bit going on. He can shrug tackles. He's quick.
He's backing up all the time,
and
like you said, he can shrug a tackle, and he's got that quick acceleration that he can get through a gap real quick. So I don't mind that at all.
He belongs in teams for sure. Like, especially if you're running if you just say Buller is your fullback or Will Kennedy is your fullback. You know, some of these tier 2 fullbacks, have Sloan in your side and just stream your fullbacks dependent on matchups, because Sloan goes big.
Wouldn't he be a good option to stream at your flex position?
Yeah, nice. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. Is he available in the Rubbers League? Maybe we'll pick him up.
That's the thing. Yeah, we might have to.
Write that
Actually, we're live, aren't we? Shit.
Yeah, write that down. Write that down somewhere. Okay, so I mean, waiver wire pickups. One of the biggest ones this week is Finay Fuwaki. Have to pick him up.
Yep.
Because he's got a stay there for at least 6 weeks. He's probably the biggest one in this game. There's not much else happening with ins and outs. You know what pissed me off? Blake Laurie coming off the fucking bench.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, thank fuck he's got the 10 on his back this week because I was ropeable. What, Blocker coming off the bench? Are you fucking kidding me? Disrespectful.
Mate, he was coming back from injury, so that's fair that he was started off the bench. But geez, like,
round me up, boys. Jesus, Blake Laurie needs the 10 on his back, and he needs to be playing 55 minutes, and that's what has to happen. So, yeah, look, not a lot going on here. I think Scott Drinkwater fucking brains it in this game. I think this is the first game we see him go supersonic.
I'd almost be confident to say just put the captain on him
for sure. For sure,
yeah.
Yep, I do like him as a captaincy option. Val Holmes as well.
Felt firing up.
Felt ATS, please. Yes, all day. Just a little bit of a heads up for Kyle Felt and a little bit of a teaser for the Chase Your Losses podcast. I have bet on Kyle Felt 2 weeks in a row, and he's gone bang, bang. He's on a hat trick.
Oh, hello. And you'll be following him into this one.
Let's just shoehorn that in there with a tease. You guys will have to listen to the Chase Your Losses podcast. But Kyle Felt is my boy. Val Holmes running at Jack Bird. I like that. Val Holmes kicking probably 20 goals. I like that. Yeah, other than that, I mean, anything else?
I mean, statistically, Jack Bird has a good matchup, but Holmes is better defensively than he was last season. I know he made a few mistakes and stuff last week, but I wouldn't be looking at him. Kyle Felt, we mentioned him about the ATS. I think he'll score well in this game as well. And Jeremiah Nenai, marking up against Luciano Leilua. I think he's got enough footwork to get around the big fella. I think that's definitely one that a matchup that I'm very interested to see how that pans out. Obviously, he'll be lining up next to Kyle Flanagan, who we have seen miss a tackle or two in his time. So, yeah, those are the matchups that I'll be looking at. And looking at how they'll struggle, I think the Dragons are just going to find it really tough to find points in this one. Like you mentioned, the right side, and I think if they do get any joy, it's going to be through their right. But yeah, I just feel like the Cows are what we were expecting them to be last season. They're a lot better defensively, and look, defense wins premierships, and I think they'll just build into this one.
Their forwards are standing up. We said this a lot last year, is that their forwards were lacking and they weren't winning the middle. This year, they've really stood up and they're going at it, and they're getting on their fucking fronts. Their knees and elbows are getting quick play the balls. It's giving these quick boys out the back plenty of space, and that's how they're scoring points. All right, let's keep it rolling here. Saturday, 7:35 p.m. Tigers v Sharks Leichhardt Oval. So the Sharks, the Sharks left is still juicy as fuck. And you know what the Sharks do? They pummel bad teams. You know what the Sharks left does against bad teams? They score fucking tries. And I guarantee you that's what's going to happen in this one. Mulatalo and Talakai have been very impressive. And I think with no Nickera in this side, which is the guy that Hines likes to go to on the right, I think Hines will float a lot down the left, and I think this left attack just sings in this one. There's an ATS for everyone out there. They'll be lining up for try tickets. Mulatalo's a special. I think Talakai, poor Talakai on my side, hasn't even got a fucking start. I'm sorry, bro. I see you. I see you. You're putting together some very good scores, and you may get a start this week, bro. But I apologize, but fuck, he has been a beast, hasn't he?
I'll tell you what, as an ATS, Teague Wilton, like he must, with how he's been going, like he'd be paying about $1.20.
Yeah,
It's been crazy. Look, I 100% Talakai, Mulatalo. Look, I think even Will Kennedy as well backing up, and I think there are going to be a lot of opportunities. There's going to be a big score, I think, in this one. Look away, Tigers fans. Is this one of the last games out at Leichhardt?
Not sure, bro.
I remember seeing a fair bit of stuff going around about OH&S issues and stuff with the ground. It's one of the stalwart fucking footy fields. So it'd be a big disappointment if that was true.
You know, it's a good watch here. The ones.
What's that?
Fullback versus fullback, Buller versus Kennedy. Two fullbacks that are pretty much on par when it comes to Supercoach ability and the scores that they pump out. Interesting to see who comes out on top here. Very interesting.
Yeah, I think. Look, Buller's got more about him, but I think
Kennedy's in a better team.
Kennedy's just in a better team. He's going to be in better attacking positions, and he's going to be backing up better plays. So, yeah, I think it's Buller can't carry the team on his own back. Look at they only gave Bud Sullivan one game. And they've already made some changes to the spine, so it's panic stations already.
Look, waiver wire pickups. You know who impressed me? Lockie Galvin.
Yeah, good base.
Big bit of gear too. Big boy, 49 points, 21 tackles, and he had
once he fills out that body,
12 runs.
Once he fills out that body, he's going to be a bit like in the Burton sort of mold. He's going to be a big bit of gear to deal with. From my side, the top matchups, looking at obviously Hines, Jackie Williams has really good matchup taking over from Nickera on that right edge. But look, I think you're 100% on the money. They're going to attack down that left a lot more now.
Yeah.
So Will Kennedy's the other one that I think is going to have a pretty decent game.
Yeah, all Sharks, all left.
Oh, yeah.
Other than Lockie, I honestly think he's worth a low end waiver wide just because 5'8" is so fucking disgusting. And if you're running with one of these real shit 5'8s, you know, just say you're running with Luke Keary, I think Lockie Galvin's worth a pickup. Low end or maybe free agent, but yeah. Other than him, I don't think there's a lot going on in this game.
No, and look, I don't think there's going to be too many, apart from maybe like Jack Williams would be available on waivers and frees. He might be worth a play.
Put Billy Burns in, boys.
But with Billy Burns, I was about to say, with Billy Burns on the bench, like how many minutes are we expecting to actually get?
Not a lot.
Yeah, so that's a big concern. Yeah,
not a great game for waiver wire pickups.
No.
Let's move on to the Sunday 4:05 p.m. game. Eels versus Manly Combank. This is going to be a good one for Supercoach, I think.
This is a
a lot of points in this one. Now, for strengths and weaknesses, the most interesting matchup of the round when I started diving into this game. Statistically, Manly's right edge has a huge matchup, especially on their out edge. Morgan Harper, who is now playing left wing, has missed 5 tackles and conceded 5 line breaks on his own in 2024.
Who would have thought that Morgan Harper's a poor defender?
So now
it's not like your mate Talakai gave him a fucking bath a couple of seasons ago.
Well, he's out there in the wing now. I don't know when's the last time he played wing, but he's in some serious fucking Dalai Lamas this week. Now, Blaze Talagi, love the name, but he's coming in fresh. These two, first time defending together. Morgan Harper is an absolute turnstile. Probably never played wing in his life. Now he has to deal with DC, Ola, Garrick, Paulo, and Turbo on the sweep. Real tough day at the office for those two. So you can fire Manly's right attack up in this one. Yum.
Yeah, look, I think it's definitely Garrick and Polo for me. Hit the nail on the head there, and add into that Olakuatu. I think there's going to be a lot of points to be had on that right edge.
Yep, and we've been saying this the last couple of years with Olakuatu, right? We're like, there's going to be a season where he goes, "Hang on, I'm fucking huge, and I can kill cunts."
Yep.
It seems like 2024 is the year where he's just gone, right, whenever I run the ball, motherfuckers can't even deal with me.
Yeah. And one of the quality things that they've done is by moving Garrick over to the right side, they now have two genuine attacking threats coming on that right edge. So it's not just they're not going to double mark. They can't double mark up on Olukwatu because they'll have Garrick coming in around him. So I love the move. I didn't initially think it was a good play, but looking at it a bit closer about the impacts it'll have on the defensive decisions, love it.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, obviously you've got Dylan Brown there and you've got Lane, both who are very good defenders, but they've got a lot to deal with on their own. They've got to mark up on DC and Ola, right? So they're going to try and nullify their attacking prowess, but that's just going to leave fucking this Blaze, Talagi, and Morgan Harper on their own. And I can just see Turbo. I mean, he's due for one. An ATS special here. He's going to be one of the top captaincy options this round, Turbo. I think he blitzes the Eels. Garrick up for one. Paulo, fantastic. Yeah. Yum. What's your top matchups, bro?
Look, top matchups, Garrick, Turbo, and our mate Olukwatu. Yeah, I think. Look, and looking at where they're going to struggle, I think both middles are going to struggle. I think this one is going to be a very big arm wrestle, but then it'll open up probably a bit after half time, and I think there are going to be a fair few attacking opportunities there. I
think the total's 41.5 overs. Overs, bro. Overs. Yeah. There's going to be points in this fucking game.
Yeah, for sure.
Lots of points.
Especially at Bankwest.
Yep, lots of real points. For waiver wire pickups, Lussick. Now
he has to be in teams.
Well, he's going to be an 80-minute hooker. There's no hooker on the bench now. So Lussick's the man. We thought it was going to be Hands. It's Lussick.
Yeah, exactly. So exactly.
He's probably one of the top, waiver claims for this round, I think. He needs to be in teams. Vega, big Ray Vega on the left, maybe a low end, maybe a free agent pickup there. Jackson Paulo, definitely a plug and play for this round for sure. But yeah, as far as waiver wire claims, I think, Lussick's the big one there, bro.
Yeah, you can't go past him for sure.
Anything else to add there, bro, with the waivers?
Look, you mentioned it, Ray Vega coming on the left. I just think it's all going to be right, if I'm honest.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. For captaincy options, if you got Tom Trbojevic, don't even think about it. He goes in there. On the other side, like I said, there's going to be points, so don't shy away from firing up Dylan Brown or Clint Gutherson. I think there will be points to be had here for the Eels team. And they look good. Like, they just came off a pretty decent game against the Panthers where, a few guys scored well. So I don't mind Gutho or Brown as captaincy options, but on the other side of the ball, it's just the stats are just screaming at us that Turbo, DC, Ola, these guys are going to have really big games.
Yeah. No, I think, and we saw Luke Brooks is popping up both sides of the ruck as well. So I'm excited about him.
Yeah,
this season.
Good. We're big on him, and got it right. I won't. All right, let's get into Sunday, 6:15. This is the last game of the round, and a bit of a bludger actually. This is the Knights v the Storm, McDonald Jones Stadium. Strengths and weaknesses, really hard to look at the Storm and try and figure out what's going to happen there, right? Because they don't have their halves.
Yeah.
They'll be running with Pezzett, who's been really underwhelming from what we've seen in the past from him. And then obviously you got Tyron Wishart, who is not a 7.
I will say that Pezzett, he was really good when he filled in last season. This season, yes, he's been underwhelming. But look, I think this game does scream of a bit of a dud game, both Supercoach and just NRL watching wise. I think it might be low scoring, defensively minded. Papi's going to need to inject himself as much as he possibly can into this one from the Storm side. But yeah, Kalen Ponga, he needs to fire.
That's my big watch.
Do you reckon Cogger unlocks him?
Yep. Now, I listened to a podcast with Nathan Cleary It was I keep forgetting the fucking name. It's the Matt Johns, Cooper Jones. I think it's backstage, something like that. And they had Nathan Cleary on, and Nathan Cleary was singing Cogger's praises about how he came on in that grand final and how straight he played and how he took on the line and how their attack took a different form and a different shape that the Broncos hadn't seen. And I mean, for someone like Nathan Cleary, who's a very direct halfback, he takes the line on. For him to say that about Cogger, I was like, okay, fuck, that's interesting. And what have Knights been trying to do so far in 2024? They've been trying to beat teams on the outside. They haven't been playing direct football. They keep trying to sing the ball on the out edges and not paying respect to the middle. They're not trying to beat teams up the middle and play decent percentage football. Cogger's that man. Cogger is that guy, and I'm really interested to see how Cogger and what sort of effect he can have, especially on that left edge, if that's where he is going to play, and just straightening up that attack, getting KPP running straight hard lines, squaring up his shoulders with the defense, and just having that compress the defensive line. And then what happens with the compressed defensive line is that's when you do have space on the edge. And that's where fucking players like KP can take advantage of that. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing, because I'm a KP owner. I've been very disappointed. I think this could be a really good move. I mean, I was surprised that it was Jacko that missed out. I really thought it was a gamble. But
I mean, like Cogger and Hastings are similar type of general type of player, so I can understand it. But fuck, I mean, I like Gamble's enthusiasm. He hasn't really offered that much.
He's a perfect 14, isn't he?
He's a perfect 14. I'd actually bring Price in. Will Price looked really good in the trials. At 6, he looked very, very good.
I think there could be an ambush on here for the Knights. I think they win this game. I think that they're worth a little bit of a sprinkle here. I think the Storm will be rudderless, and they might not have a lot of leadership in this team. Pappy's obviously there, but he's never been that guy. He's never been that guy.
The thing that I'm interested about is field possession, and field position. Just whether they can get the kicking game to work without Hughes or Munster in there. If Pezzett and Wishart can like play and kick quite well, I think it's going to be very close. If in the first couple of sets their kicking game isn't up to it, they can't get get them in a good position for the start of the next set. It could be a very, very heavy score from the Knights. So I'll be watching this one very closely. It's a shit time as well. I hate the 6 o'clock games.
Now that you're a dad, you will hate this time.
Yeah.
This is a bad dad time. This is a real bad dad time.
Not fantastic.
No. What is your top matchups for this game if you had to pick them?
So vibe pick. I like Eli Katoa in this one. Statistically, it wasn't fantastic last season, but Jack Cogger comes into a new defensive combination with KPP. So I think that there may be some communication issues. There may be some issues, and we know that Eli Katoa is good enough that he can exploit those. It's just whether Pezzett, Wishart can get the ball to him. So they've got Harry Grant there, so maybe that can help unlock that. And Puppy's going to be in there trying everything, trying the house down. And you alluded to it before, Cogger unlocking Ponga. So I think Ponga might be in for a big one here. And look, Best is coming up against Nick Meaney. Not the worst defender, and I never thought I'd say that, but I think Best might be in for a big one as well.
Yeah, very interesting watch this one. Very interesting watch. Waiver wire pickups, there's a few. Jack Cogger. Yeah. I think we should go Jack Cogger before what's the bloke from Broncos?
What, Reynolds? Oh, Madden, Jock Madden.
Madden, yeah, I reckon Cogger's the man there.
Yep.
Tom Jenkins, nice little handcuff there for Marzu owners on the left. And of course, if this Knights edge starts firing, Tom Jenkins is going to score tries.
Yeah, for sure.
Thompson, for me, a really good front row forward pickup. I wouldn't be spending a waiver on him, but wake up in the morning, see if he's available on freeze. Whack him in your front row forward. He's getting big minutes. We talked about it in the preseason. We thought that this guy needs to be the alpha. He needs to be the big swinging dick. And what we saw on the weekend is that, he's taken over. He's just gone, fuck you, Saifidi boys. Get out of the way. I'm going to lead here. And he did. And what did he get? Like 59 points? Yum.
Yeah. And he's going to definitely get you that 45 to 55 each and every week. Lock it mode. Love it.
Yep. 100 captaincy options, KP and Pappy. Other than that,
oof, I don't think I'd be. I wouldn't be venturing too far away from them. Maybe Harry Grant, but we saw from last week what he can do, and you know all too well what he can do.
Like I said, I'm so happy I'm not an owner. So happy.
Yeah,
I love him. Harry Grant's a fucking weapon, but
yes.
I don't want to own him in my draft team. All right, that is the games well and truly rubbed down. Let's get into the happy ending.
You want happy ending?
I got a booty. Let me break it down for you so you understand. I'll hold your hand like a small child. Fuck. Oh my God, fuck yeah.
All right, first up, I'll throw to you, Wooker. What were our favorite waiver wire pickups for round 3?
All right, so we had Taruva, we had Jock Madden as a handcuff to Adam Reynolds, we had Tuapiki and Savage, the real quality ones. Phil Sammy if he's available, same with Josh Curran. AKP was an iffy one if he's still floating around. Sandon Smith is a nice handcuff option for Kiri owners. Gussie Crichton, half decent option on freeze. Finifawaki is a great pickup, especially for those Lukey owners out there. Tom Eisenhuth is a half decent one at lock, but I expect that it's only going to be for a week while JDB is in the front row. Lockie Galvin is a fantastic pickup in the very shallow 5'8" position. Then we had Joey Lussick as probably the top waiver claim this week, and then Jackson Polo as well on that right edge. Jackie Cogger. And I think he's warming up to be one of the top 5 waiver claims this week. And Tommy Jenkins is looking like being put in good positions. Hasn't been scoring that well, but
Tries will come on that left edge.
Leo Thompson.
Yep.
Well, it's a bit of a watch with Tommy Jenkins about which side he lands on, because Anari Tuala has played both sides. We mentioned it a bit earlier that Tommy Jenkins, when he was at the Panthers, I only ever saw him on the right. So it's a wait and see with Tommy Jenkins where he lands. But if you've got space on your bench, throw him in there.
Nice. Right, so there are waiver claims for round 3. Now we're going to do the happy ending a little bit different this podcast and henceforth. First up, we're going to do a little bit of a round 3 matchup.
Who the fuck are you?
I don't know, bro. Once I get into the VBs, bro, I get quite intelligent. My vocabulary just goes through the roof. We're going to do a round 3 matchup draft, right? We're each going to pick 3 players that we like in round 3 due to their statistical matchup. And then we're going to do a round 3 plug and play draft. Ooh. And that's going to be picking 2 players each. So this week it'll work that Wooker, you pick first in the matchup draft. I'll pick first in the plug and play draft. But this will be an interesting way to sort of pick the guys that we're really big on. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis?
Are you ready for it? Are you ready to hold on to it?
Yeah, mate.
All right. So, round 3 statistical matchup draft. Wooker, who are you going to go first?
All right. I'm going to lead it off with Hot Boy Hines, and I know 100% what your pick's going to be, and I know what my next pick's going to be after that. So, on to you.
Hines against the Tigers, fair. The way I'm going to do this, right, is I'm going to pick one gun. I'm going to pick one forward, one back.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So you've picked your first gun. I'm going to pick my gun. I'm going to go Turbo up against the Eels.
Shock horror.
Turbo, I think he is the best captaincy option this week. Classic. You need to captain him. I think the Eels, they conceded the 3rd most tries to fullbacks last season. So Turbo is due for a try here. Grab him, put him up there. Sure. The option ATS, get involved. Turbo all the way, bro.
All right. I'm going to go Big Tino as my next pick. Just some just some coverage there for a big forward bopper.
I like that. I'll follow suit with Tino, and I'm going to go Paddy Carrigan. We saw Hopgood. He had a blinder against the Panthers last week, and I think Haas will get less minutes. I think his wings will get clipped a little bit. I might even see Paddy get 80 minutes, and with 80 minutes, he'll get 80 points. So, yeah, Paddy for me.
Yep, and I'm going to go Scotty Drinkwater.
Like it.
So I think they're in for a big one against the Dragons. They didn't have much chop in defense, didn't have much opposition against the Finns. Yeah, Drinky for me.
I do like Drink. I did have him on my list, so I'm going to have to pivot and go my next guy, Toops, Daniel Tupu.
Toops.
We saw Cobbo, Walsh, Arthurs obliterate the Bunnies last week, and I said it before, Tass and Milne defending together. That's disgusting. Toops, 2 or more tries is yummy. I think he scores 9 super points. Put him in there for a nice matchup this weekend. So,
yep.
That's all of them?
That's it. That's all. That's the 3 each. And now
so Hines, Turbo. We got Hines, Turbo, Paddy, Drinky, Toops.
I had Tino as well.
Oh, Tino in there as well. Yep. Put him in there, bro. All right, nice. Let's get into our plug and play draft. This will be interesting. So we're only looking at guys that are 35% owned or lower. So guys that you could most likely pick up on waivers, even free agency there, plug them in to get a decent score. So I'm going to go first. I'm going to go Jackson Paulo for Manly Seagulls, most likely going to play right wing. Morgan Harper out there trying to defend. Stop it. Jackson Paulo is going to score a try. It's as simple as that.
Okay, that one hurt a little bit. Definitely got me. Gotcha. I'm going to go Kilikefu Fenefuaki.
I like it.
I do think that he is going to get some good opposition this week. Yeah, similar to what I was saying about the Dragons before. I think
plug and play also great waiver wire pickup. He is also going to be running at Ben Hunt, who usually by the end of the season he misses the most tackles of any back out there. So I do like that play. Yep. I'm going to go for my second plug and play. You've opened it up for me here. I didn't think you'd go him. I'm going to go Campera. I'm going to go Campera.
Cam Pereira of 21 points with a try.
Yeah, big call, big balls called. Dogs have leaked a try to a left winger in both games this season. 5 tries to left edge players so far. Kiraz, like I said, 8 missed tackles.
He's gonna need to score 5 to be relevant.
Wilson, 3 line break considered. 3 tries for Campera to get 55 points.
Fair play. Well, if you're gonna go AKP, let's go head to head. I'm gonna go Blake Wilson.
Ooh,
as a plug and play. So, look, they've been attacking fairly heavily on that right wing. Coming up against AKP, who isn't a solid defender, I think he's going to get a couple of tries against him.
I like it. Very happy with those plug and plays. We've got Jackson Paulo, Fenefuaki, AKP, and Blake Wilson this round. Hopefully, all those guys can get at least over 60. And if you're picking these guys up free agents and they're getting 60 points or more, you've done really well. Now, we did have, obviously, we had the bet last round. It was Marzu versus Katoa. We documented that on Instagram, putting up our thoughts throughout the game. And I asked everyone at the end of it, I was like, look, did you guys enjoy that? Do you want to see more of that? And it was an outstanding fucking yes. So looks like we're going to have to do that again. So I thought, let's pick a game every week. We'll go head to head. We'll pick one player each out of that game, but we'll veto 2 of the guns to make it a little bit harder to pick the players, right?
Yep.
So we've gone Roosters, Bunnies game, one of the best games of the round, and we've vetoed Latrell and Manu.
Yep.
So you can pick first. So you're going to pick one player, can be out of both teams. Doesn't matter. Whoever you want. And then I'll pick second. And then next week we'll swap. I'll pick first in the other
Sounds good. Well, I'll go Teddy in this one.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
I knew you would, okay. Have to.
You're going to go Toops again?
I'm tripling down. and I'm going to quadruple down when I get into the Chase Lots podcast. I'll be having.
God. Holy shit! Toops v Teddy.
I've got some stakes in Toops this weekend, people, but I'm big on him. Teddy versus Toops. I like this, bro. I like this. So tune in for the Roosters Bunnies game on the Weekly Rubdown Instagram page. We'll be up there giving each other banter. It'll be Teddy versus Toops. And so what we're playing for, you get 1 point for a win. Obviously, we started with Marzu and Katoa, so Wooker's already 1 up now. Come round 20. We'll go the whole season, go the whole regular season. Winner gets to choose the loser's team name in the home league, so the Lovers League gets to choose the team name for next year. And we'll let the rubbers help us.
Yeah, I think we'll give the rubbers a few options to choose from. Some of the spicier ones, and then fucking hell. Yeah, that good. I'm stoked with it. I reckon it's going to be good. Well, let's put a bottle on it as well.
Yeah, chuck a bottle on there. Fuck yeah, why not? $100 at least.
$100 bottle of something
tasty.
Something tasty.
All
Sounds
right, I like that.
I'm excited.
Yeah, this is a fun way to sort of look at the players that we're interested in, rather than just going, here's a list of guys that we like, blah blah blah. This is going to be good. This is going to be really
and
good.
We'll have some skin in the game as well. So
100%. All right, bro. Let's dip into some questions for round 3.
Excuse me. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
You want answers?
You know the question?
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Every time that I'm Ron Burgundy gets me. It gets me every time.
Mate, before you get into the Patreon questions, I've just got a couple of questions that have been thrown our way on YouTube. So there actually is people watching us on YouTube. So hello to everyone. All 3 of you, thank you so much for tuning in. So we've got, who am I replacing Lukey with? Fine Fiwaki is an easy choice there. If you can get in
for sure.
and do that. And then another question here, Fine Fiwaki, Curran, Nat Butcher, who you taking, or are there any other 2RFs that you can think of? If Nat Butcher's out there.
I reckon Nat Butcher for sure. Yeah. I don't mind a play for Curran either. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. Actually, all of them are really good pickups. Probably Nat Butcher first, Fine Fiwaki second, maybe Curran third.
Yeah, I think Curran's probably got a bit more season-long value, but I think we'll get better scores from Fine Fiwaki in the interim.
I think so. All right, you're away. Patreon questions, hit me.
All right, it's unfortunately the page is reloading, so we'll play some lift music in the meantime. No, it's genuinely loading, so I might go on my phone just to bring up the questions.
This is a good live gear. This is how we
This is just how we roll. Yep. Questions. The problem was we did have a whole bunch of questions.
Anybody home?
We did have a bunch of draft waiver questions, and I've been answering them bits and pieces throughout the week.
Actually, that's a good. We can fill in some time here and talk about how we're going to structure questions in the coming weeks. And we've had a bit of talk about this. Tuesdays for us guys is fucking wild. We both have full-time jobs, so we're working all day on Tuesday. So we're prepping for the podcast, but also, Wook's got the TLT thoughts to get out. He's got the waiver wire claims to put out. Then we've got the podcast to get going as well. So first up, apologies if we don't get to any of your questions on Tuesday. I know it's a big day and it's usually the day that you do want answers, but for us, we just can't get to them. We've just got too much on, right? And I know there's a few of you that have tried to ask me questions on Instagram. I'm sorry. I just have, it's too hectic. Team List Tuesdays, it drops at 4:00, and then we're recording at 8. And there's so much that happens in that 4 hours for us to get ready for this, both on Patreon and the podcast. So, Wook, can you just tell the people how we're going to structure? Because we do want to answer your questions and we want to get to as many of them as possible, but we're trying to figure out a way to do that without burning ourselves to the ground.
Yeah. And look, we've tried to, I put up the questions post this week, I've tried to give a bit of guidance as to what information we'll need to answer the questions as well. Because sometimes we're being asked to answer questions with like 2/5 of information and we're not really able to give a good answer. So just asking about like league details. So the size of your league, the size of your squads. So how many starters, how many bench, your grand final round, captains or non-captains, things like that will actually impact the answers that we're given. And also your team. So if you're asking, should I pick up this CTW? Well, what CTW options do you have? What's your bench makeup look like? Are you weak in other positions? Should you be going for other positions? Like these are the sort of bits of information that we use to formulate the answers. So if you can hit us up with those, that'd be sick. Outside of that, try to hit us with your waiver questions on a Monday or a Sunday. Just after listening to the free agent frothies on Sunday night or Monday morning, it will give us the best opportunity to answer it and give you a steer before we record. Because realistically, Tuesday afternoons there's just too much going on.
If you're a Patreon subscriber and you want to get your waiver wire question in on a Sunday afternoon, I will answer those ones on the free agent frothies podcast. So if you can get them in that early, I'll answer some of them on that podcast. And then obviously any questions you get in on Monday, because it's a little bit of a slow news day, Wooker will be able to get to those. But any that sort of flood in on a Tuesday, we'll try and answer a lot of them on the podcast. But like that one-on-one answering, it's hard to. But like Wooker said, if you don't have that criteria set and you haven't told us what's available, what your team looks like, we're probably not going to answer the question.
Yeah, it's we can't answer it well. So all right. So I'll step through some of the questions. So Big Max has asked us, based on the performances to date, who should we be trying to obtain from other coaches in buy low trade situations?
Well, it's a good time to get guns, isn't it? Like there's coaches in every league that love to rage trade, and
your old man's an absolute fiend for it.
100%. Target the KP owner, target the drinky owner, target these guys that are underperforming and try and sell them guys that are overperforming. It's the classic flip and fetch. Yep.
For sure, and look, the flip and fetch is one of the key tools that we do start bringing in from round 6 when we start to pump in a bit of the stats. So it does help you give a steer on who you should be looking to flip, but also who you should be looking to fetch off other people.
Yeah.
Next one is Davo has asked us start one out of Chan, Strange, Flanagan, or Salmon. This is a classic question.
Jesus. Start. I don't know about Chan just because of the halves.
Yeah. I just don't think he'll get quality ball.
No. Strange, maybe.
Strange, difficult matchup in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Flanagan, difficult matchup being in the Dragons. And Salmon hasn't set the world alight.
I think I'd have to go Strange.
I think so.
Probably the best. It's probably the best of a bad
bunch. Best of a bad bunch. Yep.
Yeah.
Next one is Alex has asked us, got Max King and Tapane in the front row. Mate, they've underperformed this season. Give you a hot tip. Can you please tell me? Oh yeah, actually, he's letting on that. Can you please tell me it'll get better? Look, they're quality front rowers. Things are going to improve. Teams are still figuring out minute rotations, things like that. So, look, I wouldn't be too concerned, but huge disappointment this season so far, for sure.
Yeah, it's just a weird sort of rotation what they've got going on there. I mentioned it earlier with them running a lot of smaller forwards in the middle. So yeah.
And I thought with that being the case, King would be like absolutely thrashing it, but not the case.
No.
Shred has asked us, how long do you think Metcalf kicks goals for?
Yeah, I couldn't find a lot of information on this. Neither could Brian. We don't know what's going on. We assume it's some sort of niggle for Sean Johnson. So honestly, pissing in the wind, got absolutely no idea. Obviously, SJ is fit enough to play, which means he's probably not far off fit enough to kick.
Yeah. I don't think it's a permanent thing at all, for sure. Davo's asked us another one. Start Semi versus Kuraz this week.
Who was the first one? Sorry,
Phil Semi.
Phil Semi. Oh God, I think you
same game.
Yeah, I think you just go Kuraz.
You go Kuraz because his floor is sensational. There was a lot about Semi's performance in round one, though. I think there was 11 tackle breaks or something crazy like that. So, look, he's going to be there or thereabouts. It's going to be a close one. I think I would be going Kuraz, though, personally.
Yeah, I think so, too.
So, BMAD has asked who wins this trade? Manu and Jaden Campbell for David Fafita. This is a 10-man league, 10 starters.
Say it again,
for my bench. Who wins the trade? Manu and Jaden Campbell for David Fafita.
So hard because he's injured. Like if he wasn't injured, you'd be like, well, Fafita wins.
It's Fafita for sure. But we know that based on the injury, he's going to come back and there will be a period of time for return to performance.
Is it a captain's league, did you say?
He hasn't said, and I think that will be that'll be a huge determining factor for the question.
Captain's league, Fafita wins. Non-captain's league, the other ones win.
Yep, I agree. Stephen, no, I've answered Stevens. Matty Heaton has asked. Who to sit out of Leilua, Kolo Kolomatangi, KPP and Lane. So he's obviously got 4 tourists. I'd sit Leilua.
Well, it's an easy one, yeah, Leilua. I don't think he gets 80. I think he probably struggles to get 60, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the case. And that's all. Yeah, a lot of them were waiver ones, and I've answered those throughout the day. But yeah, fire up your questions on a Monday because it's likely that I won't have time to pump them out.
Yep. If you can, some Sunday ones, I'll answer them.
Yes,
Monday
absolutely.
ones, Walker will answer them. And then any stragglers.
Well, the beauty of it is if they do ask on the Sunday, they can have them answered on the pod, which is good.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. And it's usually like a pretty quick podcast, 20, 25 minutes. So I can spend a little bit more time sort of answering those questions in depth as well.
Yep. Good.
One last one on YouTube. They're firing it up now. This is
cool. Oh, hello.
Love the live, fellas. To get this in before waivers. Thoughts on dropping Duncan or Ricky for Finafuaki in a 12-man league?
Duncan for sure. Yes.
Nickera. Yep.
Do it. Duncan for sure. Ricky, I think you'd want to probably keep him for a little bit. But yeah, Duncan.
I'm going to start calling this Finafuaki Fine Fui.
Fine Fui.
Fine Fui. That's his nickname. Easier to say. Nickname, bang. Better for us because I've pronounced it 8 different times in this podcast.
Finafuaki, mate. Come on. Killer Kefu Finafuaki. How hard is that? Malalo. B-Mad's come up with another one. He's asked, does Big Red come off the bench in the middle rotation when he's back, or will Smithies drop back to the bench?
I don't think they're going to bench the Smithies. I think they're big on Smithies. I think Big Red's going to rotate through the middle, but I'm not.
You also said the same thing about Hosking.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything to do with the Raiders with any sort of confidence. So
you can't have any certainty.
No, I have my opinion. That's what I think will happen. But fuck, don't listen to me because Ricky will do what Ricky wants to fucking do.
I thought there was zero chance of Hoskin going to the bench. So, yeah, look, it's not something that I would trust Sticky to make the decision we're expecting. So, yeah, Smithy's to be benched for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Who the fuck knows?
Weird. Yeah, exactly.
The whole thing's weird. All right, mate. That's us done. A pretty good hit out. Didn't go for 3 hours. That's always a positive.
Yeah, mate. Well, I think we had a goal. We got there. We had some technical dramas early on.
Well, it wouldn't be a rub down without technical dramas.
That's right. That's right. We're not the most tech savvy guys out there, but we get it done.
But thank you to everyone that jumped on the YouTube live. 19 of you, if you could believe that. Wow.
That's harking back to the days when we started the pod. We were high fiving.
Tuesday miracles with Walker pronouncing names correctly.
Oh, I know.
It's good. All right.
I fucked it up so many times last season. I had to learn it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, mate. Let's get the fuck out of here. This is enough. So Chase Your Losses podcast will be out tomorrow. And then obviously
Chasing the Green. You killed it last week.
First ever to do it. That's all best bets plus the hero. I got a hot hand, bro. So tune in if you want fucking winning bets because I'm right up there. Rando doing absolutely nothing, but lucky I've got these broad shoulders to carry him through the rounds because that's exactly what I'm doing.
It's a mad role reversal this season, isn't it? How good?
Yeah, that's it. It's about time I stood up, actually. All right, let's get out of here. That's it for this rump, guys. We'll chat to you soon. Remember, tune in on Instagram. What's the Roosters Bunnies game? That's Friday at 8 p.m.
Friday 8 p.m.
Walker and I will be going head to head. Teddy versus Tupu. Put your bets down. Who you on here? Toops is going to be fucking 3 tries. It's an easy win for Toops. Easy.
Yeah, but all of those tries plus a few extras are going to be laid on by Teddy. So
yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get out of here, bro. Remember, there are many things a man can do with his time.
This is better than those things.
You're damn right, Walker. Catch us next round on the Weekly Rub.
You can take me now. I have seen it all.
Get that India.
Ta-ta.